So in this news media analysis presentation, I will be discussing how the scientific study of breastfeeding affects a woman's health is both interpreted differently in the original study and other media coverages. But before doing so, I will give a brief introduction in regards to the study. One of the major concerns of women who are planning to have a baby or after giving birth is whether or not they should breastfeed. As you can probably imagine, it's not exactly the most pleasant or most relaxing thing to do, especially after going through a 9-month pregnancy. So the next question is, why do it? What are the benefits of breastfeeding? The answer is fairly simple. Breastfeeding leads to a happier, healthier mother and child as the baby gets nutrients from the mom, and the mother also loses excess weight gained from her pregnancy, which leads to reducing the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. A research study conducted by Eleanor Schwartz and her colleagues at the University of Pittsburgh determined that women who never breastfed their children were more likely to develop type 2 diabetes compared to the women who on average breastfed their children for at least 6 months. This shows how much of an impact breastfeeding have on the mother. However, there is a fine line between the scientific study published in a science journal compared to the media coverages on the story, because different media tell different stories, in the same way that vanilla ice cream differs from chocolate ice cream. Depending on the flavor the audience wants, the story may be perceived in another way. So with that being said, who do we believe? An article from Daily News following the study was titled, "New York State's Docs and Advocates. Breastfeeding Burns 500 Calories a Day." So when you first look at this title, what stands out the most? Breastfeeding burns 500 calories a day, right? Well, is this valid? Is it accurate? Looking at the title seems to indicate that breastfeeding may be some kind of weight loss program to slim down the easy way. And after seeing such a tempting offer, it may just make any woman think about the effectiveness of breastfeeding. Perhaps that is the secret to Victoria's Secret model Heidi Klum, who wouldn't want a flawless body after a couple months of giving birth. This is where you get a wake-up call, and so frequently said, don't judge a book by its cover. Look beyond the title of a story and don't be fooled by what the author is trying to lure you into. A second example of media that I would like to emphasize on is the Huffington Post, which published their story with misleading promises. They provide false statements by using the message to send out signals, saying that even 1 month of breastfeeding can ward off weight gain well into the future, perhaps even for the rest of one's life. Well, the problem here is, who can tell the future of what will or will not happen? Is there a crystal ball at hand that prevents weight gain to every woman simply for breastfeeding? And the answer is no. This isn't some as seen on TV package, and there are definitely no 100% satisfaction guarantees. And going back to the study, Schwartz states that weight loss and preventing type 2 diabetes depends on duration, exclusivity, and consistency of lactation. So in the end, it will take a lot more work than just breastfeeding your child a couple days to lose calories. But like other intense workouts, it will take the time and dedication in doing so. That is why it is encouraged that more women participate in breastfeeding, not only for the benefit of their child, but also for their own health as well. With that being said, you can't just count on everything the media expresses, because it may not always be the real case. It's a form of agenda setting. Agenda setting is where the media doesn't tell you what to think, but they tell you what you should think about. So, what have we learned from all this? Well, don't be fooled by what is presented in the study and what is interpreted in the story, because the story may not always contain identical information given by the original study. Otherwise, there really wouldn't be much of a story to tell, would there?